Hello, scholars, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to learn how to infer the central idea. This is a key skill to master because if you can't explain the main idea, then you don't understand the point the author is trying to make. When you read anything, it's important to understand the main point or the main idea. So let's get started so you can master how to infer the central idea every time. First, let's understand what inference means. When we infer, we use multiple clues from the text and we think about how they are connected. Then we come up with a big idea or point the author is trying to make based on those clues. It's like being a detective, putting together all the pieces of information to uncover the central message. Now let's talk about text analysis. When we analyze a text, we pay attention to and identify the topic. The topic is the who or what the text is about. Then we list the important information or details. Then we determine how they all connect. Think of it as zooming in on the key elements that help us understand the bigger picture, the central idea. Let's look at an example together. What is the main idea of this paragraph? In 2014, as a junior, Brown found herself in familiar circumstances. She had made it back to the state championships in the pole vault. Over the course of the year, though, Brown's vision had worsened. She could no longer discern the contrast between the dark turf and the runway. This meant that she had to develop new methods that would allow her to continue competing. Her coach now uses a whistle to keep her centered, and Brown uses a beeper that alerts her when to plant her pole. So the first step is identify who or what is this paragraph about. In this case, it's a who. We see that it's about a girl with the last name Brown. So Brown is the topic. But you may ask, but what about Brown? So in order to get more specific, we have to go back and analyze the details. So the important details are in purple on the screen. We learned that Brown made it to the state championship for the pole vault. We learned that she's having trouble with her vision, and so she had to develop new methods for her to keep competing in the pole vault competition. Lastly, we learned that she got some help. Her coach used a whistle to help keep her centered, and she used a beeper that alerted her when to plant her pole. So, how is the topic related to the details? We use that, we stop and think about that. What is the main point the author is trying to make? That Brown changed or adapted her technique for jumping the pole vault as her vision worsened. So if you notice that the central idea is not directly stated in the paragraph, we had to infer it, and we were able to infer it based on the details. So we saw how they were connected, and that's what leads us to our central idea statement. Let's try another together. What is the central idea of this paragraph? Let's read it together. 1, 2, read. As the world faces environmental challenges, the demand for renewable energy sources like solar and wind power continues to grow. These sustainable alternatives offer cleaner solutions to traditional fossil fuels, reducing carbon emissions and combating climate change. So, what is the topic? Who or what is this paragraph about? In this case, it is a what. It is renewable energy. To get more specific about what the author wants us to know about renewable energy, we need to do a little bit of text analysis. So we're going to go back and look at the important details. I have them purple for you on the screen. We learned that demand continues to grow for renewable energy. We learned that renewable energy are sustainable alternatives, and they have benefits over fossil fuels, such as offering cleaner solutions. We also learned that renewable energy has a positive impact on the environment, such as reducing carbon emissions and combating climate change. So, what's our third step? Our third step is to stop and think and even write out how are these connected? The topic of renewable energy with these details that we listed, what is the main point that the author wants us to know? Well, because the author is speaking so positively about renewable energy, we can really look at these important details and infer that the author wants us to know that renewable energy offers advantages in addressing environmental issues. We know that the author wants us to know that it's positive, so it offers advantages or benefits because the author spoke so positively about the topic. All right, scholars, so remember, inference is a valuable skill that helps us understand texts more deeply. To understand the central idea is to understand the main point an author is making. And there you have it, scholars. That is how you infer the central idea. I encourage you to keep practicing by 1. Reading closely. 2. Identifying and listing those key details. That is a very important part. And then 3, you need to determine textual connections between the topic, the ideas and details given to us by the author, and then we use those details to infer the main idea in a complete sentence. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more reading comprehension tips and standards-based instructions. Thanks for watching, and happy reading, happy learning!